Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Also brought to you by Matson and the Adahi Etano program. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And steaks, ribs, seafood, and our famous Fresh Garden Bar. Ruby Tuesday. Good times you can taste.
Right now on primetime, trial for the pair of brothers in the Manila machete attack has been delayed. Plus, billion-dollar budget talks begin on session floor, and a bus driver terminated after dropping two school children at the wrong bus stop files an appeal.
Hafade and good evening, everyone. It was the first day of trial for two young defendants indicted in the Manila machete attack, brothers Emmanuel Resalap and Jordan Ratchulap. The pair face attempted murder, aggravated assault, terrorizing, and criminal mischief charges for the June incident. Today, the jury was brought into the courtroom with the defense and prosecution present, but opening statements were not made, and the first witnesses did not take the stand.
There has been an event that requires at least one of our attorneys not to be able to be here for this day. And to be frank with you, there might be a chance that this one-day delay could be changed to something longer. So, Council for Government, prepare accordingly. Start time, restart time, Monday, 9:45. However, this situation is fluid. We'll get a little more information about what's possible and what necessary changes.
Judge Vern Perez postponed the trial for one day. KUAM spoke with all three of the counsel and confirmed the request was placed by Resalap's attorney, Samuel Tecker. Opening statements are now expected on Monday. Assistant Attorney General Sean Brown says there will be at least 20 witnesses during the trial. The U.S. Attorney's Office has filed a notice that it will seek admission of certain evidence of motive, intent, and opportunity in its case against retired police officer and former FBI task force member John Boom Mantegnonia. In June, Boom was indicted for obstructing justice by endeavoring to influence a juror in the Raymond Martinez and Juanita Moser drug trial and for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine hydrochloride. The motion filed today references evidence of prior bad acts if it tends to prove a material point. Mantegnonia's next court hearing is scheduled for Monday. You might call it the billion-dollar budget talks. Discussion on the fiscal year 2020 spending plan is now in full swing, with revenue projections dominating the early debate. Senators, members of the governor's fiscal team, and finance and budget officials were hunkered down at the session hall to pore over the new spending plan. Budget Director Lester Carlson says when projecting how much money will be available to spend, the administration and the legislature aren't far apart.
For the most part, we are 98% in support of the revenues contained in Bill 186.
Appropriations Committee Chairman Senator Joe San Augustine says they want to be careful not to over-project on the budget, which foresees about $954 million available for appropriations.
And right now, on this bill, we try to maintain being conservative and not project at all, because exactly like what Senator Lee brought up, if a special fund doesn't perform, the general fund is what's funding the special funds. So we got to make sure that we don't try to project every penny we've got, and then if something happens, we're all going to be sitting here saying, how did we do this?
Senators are also keying on some $14 million in extra money that might be available, as Budget Director Carlson confirms that current tracking of general fund revenue shows the executive branch may have that much left over at the end of the fiscal year.
I will note, though, that about a month or two ago, we were about $23 million in tracking. That number went down to about 20. Now it's down to 14.
Senators are proceeding with a section-by-section review of the bill. They have until August 31st to adopt next fiscal year's budget. A Department of Public Works bus driver who was terminated after dropping two school children off at the wrong bus stop is fighting to get back on the road. Julia Santos reports.
When we noticed that we rode the wrong bus, we told the bus driver, and she started yelling at us, and she told us to get out of the bus and walk home.
It was back in May we first introduced you to sisters Angel and Raylene. Instead of the bus driver following policy and dropping them back to their school, they were dropped off at a bus stop along the back road to Anderson near 1,000 Steps. A stranger picked them up and helped them get home. Public Works launched an investigation into the incident, and a final adverse action was issued to terminate bus driver Karen Madlukt.
The allegations, and that's part of the reason for the appeal, are nebulous and very general and unspecific.
Guam Federation of Teachers Union Field Representative Daniel Del Priori is representing Madlukt. According to the adverse action, there's video from inside the bus with audio of the exchange between Madlukt and the girls. There was also an interview with Assistant Attorney General Donna Lawrence. Del Priori fired off a letter to DPW Director Vince Ariola to provide information of the alleged evidence. He says he sent the letter the same day Karen was first issued a proposed adverse action on July 16th.
Because many of the allegations or charges were that what you said in your written statement, Karen, in May 22nd contradicts the video. How do I know that unless I have the video? And then it's alleged that what you said in your written statement contradicts what was done and told me in the interview. How do I know that?
Del Priori says Department of Administration personnel rules and regulations entitles him to the information so that he can provide effective counsel. At an answering hearing to the proposed adverse action, he still hadn't received the video or written statements or transcripts.
Then, boom, the director files charges and terminates her. Terminates Karen after 9 years of working with DPW, and she's a single parent, supporting her kids, one with a pacemaker, and, generally most people live paycheck to paycheck. You cut off an employee's paycheck the next day after the answering, or 2 or 3 days later, where's the rent payment? Where's the car payment? Where's the food on the table for the kids, especially if you're the sole provider? And Karen has said she had no disciplinary record beforehand. So, if you won't allow the employee to answer, it's just a bad case.
August 2nd was her last day at DPW. A status call conference for her appeal is scheduled for next Thursday. Del Priori says he will motion to dismiss her termination for procedural defect and a denial of her rights. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Julia Santos.
Exposure was minimal. That's what Public Health Director Linda DeNorsi says about an investigation into a case of possible tuberculosis exposure. Acting Medical Examiner Dr. Philip Dotterman performed an autopsy and afterwards suspected that the patient had TB. DeNorsi confirms a test of the body came back positive. Dotterman had expressed concerns that he wasn't told the patient had TB and said had he known, he would have worn the proper protective gear. Today, DeNorsi confirms the investigation into the incident has been completed.
Found that there was very minimal exposure, and so we offered them, we don't have to have them tested because of those findings. However, if they want to be very, very certain, and the only way to be certain is to get a test, as you know, and we advise that the test be done 8 weeks after the possible exposure, so that would be about September 5th.
One other person who was with Dr. Dotterman was offered testing. Guam Fire Department firefighters who were at the scene had no exposure at all, according to DeNorsi. An observer from the Attorney General's office was present during the investigation. Public Health will pay for the test kit and testing. Meanwhile, Public Health says test results on a suspected case of imported dengue fever came back negative. An individual returning from a trip to the Philippines reportedly experienced some symptoms of dengue. The Philippines has recorded 146,000 cases and 622 deaths from the viruses. Public Health had the individual tested at their laboratory, and Director DeNorsi confirmed that the individual was not exposed. The DPHSS Environmental Health Division also launched an examination for mosquitoes at the home of the person to contain any potential spread. The team examined at least 17 other houses within a 200-meter radius of the person's home. The autopsy results and the names of the 2 victims from separate drowning incidents earlier this month have been released. The Chief Medical Examiner's Office identified one man as 53-year-old Antipas Era. His death was ruled an accident caused by asphyxia due to drowning. GFD recovered the man's body on Friday, August 9th at the beach along Route 4 in Maritzo. The same weekend, on Sunday, August 11th, another man was recovered in Tumon Bay behind Hotel Nico. He was identified as 29-year-old Byung Kyun Cho. According to autopsy findings, his death was also ruled an accident caused by asphyxia due to drowning. Also that same day, 2 female distress swimmers were reported at Billy Bay in Mauricio. They were rescued by GFD. Department of Rev and Tax, along with the Department of Administration, announced that on Monday they will be mailing out over 944 tax refunds totaling approximately $2.6 billion, including refunds garnished to repay government debts for error-free returns filed on or before February 18, 2019. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Okay, so what are we thinking today?
I just need a trim.
Okay, well, luckily you are in great hands.
Perfect.
The $1 stylus deal.
Is that it?
That's it.
Or you could get a real deal. McDonald's buy one, get one for $1 deal is here. Buy one of your faves and choose another for just an extra buck. Choose from the Big Mac, filet of fish, quarter pounder with cheese, and 10-piece chicken McNuggets, but only for a limited time.
At the mall, as you enjoy your shopping, dining, or entertainment, you could also win 3 great cars from Atkins Kroll and thousands of prizes in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game. Present your mall receipts and have a chance to win the renowned performance Chevrolet Camaro, the unapologetic rugged Toyota 4Runner, or the head-turning Lexus ES350 Luxury. Getaways to Manila, courtesy of Philippine Airlines, plus prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. The more you shop, the more chance to win in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Guam can be a model territory when it comes to spending federal dollars. That's what Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio is hoping after returning from a meeting with the federal government's Office of Economic Adjustment. Tenorio says the impetus for the meeting was the return of unspent federal grant monies during the last administration.
I met with Regional Director for Health and Human Services, which is the lead federal grantor for government spending on Guam, and coming up with some money, about $900,000 from the Office of Economic Adjustment to do a 2-year program to increase the knowledge base and the effectiveness of federal grant spend on Guam.
The Office of Economic Adjustments is a federal office that operates under the Department of Defense and assists communities that are adversely impacted by defense program changes, including base closures or realignments, base expansions, and contract or program cancellations. Tenorio says the OEA grant will go towards a collaboration with our island neighbors.
What we'll be doing is we'll be working with all of the regional directors, with all of the agencies on a path to try and get Guam to be basically a model in the insular areas to expend money.
In other news, 21 Marines and their families cleaned Asan Beach Park today When they first started, they collected an entire flatbed of trash. Now it's just upkeep, says Colonel Brad McGrath.
75 years ago, we kind of took ownership of this beach for liberation, where the Marines first landed. So since then, we've kept it clean, and we just really want to be able to leave a positive mark in the community. It's very important for us to give back to the community because we live here too. You know, Guam is our home, and we want to make sure that we're contributing to making this a more beautiful place.
The effort is in collaboration with the Asan Mayor's Office, and as they continue to keep this beach waste free, the Marine Corps Activity Guam invites the community to join them.
You see a lot in the media, news about the Marine Corps and the future of the Marine Corps on Guam, and this is just a really great opportunity for people to interact with Marines as we're slowly building our unit up here.
The Marines hold the park cleanups every quarter. There's a new low-cost carrier looking to service the Guam-Manila route. AirAsia has filed a petition with the Philippine government for designation as an official carrier to the U.S., according to airline spokesman David De Castro. A hearing before the Philippine Civil Aeronautics Board is scheduled for September 10th. In a statement, AirAsia Philippines CEO Ricky Isla says if they win the right to fly to the U.S., they will apply to operate flights specifically to Guam. He adds that, quote, with a fleet of 24 Airbus A320 aircraft, we are capable of launching flights as soon as the permits are ready. This will add to the more than 20 local and international destinations AirAsia flies from the Philippines. The move comes after another Philippine-based low-cost carrier, Cebu Pacific, announced that it will discontinue Guam service in December. The first ever 5G distance learning class was launched from Guam today through Docomo Pacific's 5G lab. It featured interaction in a virtual classroom between students from Jose Rios Middle School and students from 4 junior high schools in Fukuoka, Japan. The topic for the collaborative learning event was the impact of marine plastic waste on the environment. Company president and CEO Roderick Boss. Next generation 5G wireless technology features ultra-high-speed broadband connections, which Boss says they continue to test ahead of an eventual commercial launch. While there's no specific launch date yet, Docomo continues its open partner program for local companies and individuals to be able to test the 5G capabilities. All summer long, we've been featuring the top students from some of the island's high schools. We conclude head of the class with the valedictorian and salutatorian of George Washington High School.
Hafa my name is Catherine Tabanar, and I am the class of 2019 valedictorian of George Washington High School. This fall, I will be attending both the University of Guam and Guam Community College. Some of my high school highlights include being in council for all 4 years and partaking in different high school activities and functions. Also, being a part of the planning, and those include like prom, some of our pep rallies, lip dub even. Another highlight was winning our production twice in a row. I will be pursuing a bachelor's in integrated biology at UOG and associates in criminal justice with forensic lab technician concentration at GCC. After those 4 years, I'm still not certain of what I'll be doing, but perhaps furthering my education, maybe joining the work field and doing a lot of traveling.
My name is Anna Gary, and I attended GWHS. I was the class salutatorian, and I plan to attend UOG this fall. I really enjoyed joining my class council. It was really fun helping out and seeing just how much students work hard and just to make our graduation happen, as well as when I joined Close Up, I also took part in the Close Up trip to Washington, D.C. and New York, and it was really fun meeting new people and people from other islands and just hearing about how similar we are and how we're facing the same struggles in our islands as well. I'd like to study pre-medical stuff at UOG, and hopefully that works out for me. I'd like to become a doctor one day. Don't know at what field or specialty yet, but I'm thinking that would be the path for me.
Hi, Catherine Tabanar and Anna Aguirre. I am Lawrence Camacho, the Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Success at the University of Guam. And on behalf of our wonderful university and its leadership, we would like to congratulate you on your fine achievements. Congratulations, and we can't wait to see you in the fall.
Congratulations, class of 2019 from KUAM Communications and the University of Guam.
Double D Dave Delgado is up next with sports. Please stay tuned.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Hafade, naanho si Judy Flores, Tauto Inalahan. I came here in 1957 when I was a child. My parents were hired as contract teachers, and I was immersed in the village life. I learned to speak Chamorro because everyone spoke Chamorro then. We do have more than just sun, sand, and shopping. We have a spirit here that people can definitely feel. The Hafade spirit embodies the history, the culture, the language. Food is also a very important part of the culture. You offer food. That's the package altogether. The Hafade spirit is how the people welcome a visitor, a stranger, and make them feel at home. And I've always felt that, especially in Inalahan, and I believe that the Hafade Pledge is creating that throughout the island.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
We're here, Darrento Mangila, for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have 5-year-old basketball player Caden Kiko Espinal.
Hey, Caden. Congratulations on Darrento Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to donate this check to?
Sanctuary.
Now, you play basketball for the Dedido Yellow Jackets in the Guam Youth Basketball Association. Tell us how old you were when you started playing basketball.
When I was 3 years old.
And what is it about the sport that you like so much?
I like to bounce and I like to shoot. I like to scrimmage and I like my teammates.
Who's your coaches over at the Yellow Jackets?
Coach Arf and Coach Abel.
And what have your coaches taught you with the sport of basketball?
Coach Arv taught me dribbles and shooting so I can get better. And Coach Abel taught me how to scrimmage.
After winning the championship game for the U8 division, the Guam Youth Basketball Association, what did you do after winning the championship trophy?
We were starting to take up pictures. I was excited.
Who's your favorite NBA player?
Since Stephen Curry makes a lot of threes. Kevin Durant, he makes half courts and he makes threes and dunks.
Who's your favorite NBA basketball team?
The Golden State Warriors.
What else do you like to do in your spare time?
I shoot outside. When I was having a basketball rim, when it was bigger, I can't shoot on it because I was like 4 years old when I was shooting on the big rim.
What's your goal with the sport of basketball?
I want to be the nationals. I want to win a gold medal.
Congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Dow Rentone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by
Special Olympics Guam will be having badminton training this weekend at the GFA in Harmon for coaches, volunteers, and board members. Registration and training sessions will take place this Saturday from 8 in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon, and on Sunday from 8 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. The goal is to make the sport more accessible to everyone and have our Special Olympic athletes to one day be able to participate in international competitions. For more info on the program, check out Special Olympics Guam Facebook page or call Carol Piercy at 777-9647. The program is open to the first 60 Special Olympics athletes to register.
For a limited time, receive a free $500 Kmart gift certificate on selected new vehicles from Triple J Auto Group. Top of the class deals like the 2019 Mazda CX-3 for as low as $19,995, Ford F-150 starting at $229 per paycheck, or the 2019 Honda CR-V at only $205 per paycheck. Purchase your next vehicle online at triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Stop by today and with Triple J Auto Group, customers first.
Your exciting new TV experience is here. Smarter, faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps, all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Let's end the work week by saying happy birthday to tonight's celebrants, led off by Eduardo Pereno. Happy birthday to the best papa ever, says your loving family. Aaron Jacob Fama O'Brien, happy birthday to you. We love you more. In all caps, they write. Yesterday, today, and always, we hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Love you forever and a day. From Mom, Dad, Zan, Scotty, Robert, Ricky, and Coco. Happy birthday number 13 to Paul Sabega Sayama. Lots of love from Mom, Dad, Christopher, and Betty. It's also the 13th birthday for Vanessa Lynn Manabusen. Happy birthday, and we love you, says your family. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, happy birthday to Alina Pake, who celebrates a birthday today. We hope you all had amazing days.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. And it's that time of the week where we announce the winner of a yummy Cold Stone Creamery cake. Our winner is Kainoa Lee Kaheli San Nicholas. Congratulations, Kainoa. A rep will be contacting you on how you can redeem your cake. And that'll do it for us here on the news desk. But stay tuned. Jace is next with Extra.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.
Half day, everybody. Welcome to KUM News Extra. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or watching on KUM TV8, we appreciate it. I've been waiting so long to do this interview because the Startup Weekend Guam exercise is now an island institution, and I have 3 ladies here that are graduate students, soon to be MBA. Well, you're MBA candidates now. You're soon to be holding your MBA degrees in very, very short order. We have Erica, Aubriana, and Ione. Yes. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, now we could talk about Startup Weekend Guam for like the next 2 days, and I would love to do that. But Startup Weekend is actually expanding, as I understand it. Please tell me all about that, Ione.
So now it's no longer Startup Weekend Guam, it's Startup Weekend Micronesia. And
we're going regional.
Yes, we're definitely expanding to the different islands. So actually Startup Weekend Guam started in 2014, so they've had maybe about 4 to 5 events already. And then Saipan had one in 2016. And then this year, we're going to be bringing it to Chuuk, Saipan, Guam, Koh Sarai, Yap, Pohnpei, and Palau. So 7 different islands all at the same time. And we're planning just to, pretty much inspire the masses at this point.
Very cool. Okay, so Aubriana, tell me about like format, because I always remember when I would participate either as a team member or as a mentor eventually with Startup Weekend Guam. It was, you have 2 days to basically form teams, formulate some sort of idea, crank it out. If you could even produce like a prototype,
yes,
that was good too, and then you pitch.
Yeah, so the participants will be given 54 hours to come up with a potential startup idea. And on day 1, they will get together, they will network, and they will be brainstorming all of these cool, new and innovative startup ideas. They'll pitch it to the crowd within 60 seconds, and the crowd will then vote on the strongest of those startup ideas. On day 2, we will then support the teams by providing them with workshops, and they will be introduced to some of the best mentors within each of these islands that will help guide them and finalize their business plans for these startups, which they will have to present on day 3 to a panel of judges. And this panel of judges will be consisting of investors, co-founders, influencers in the business community, and they will then vote on the strongest startup idea.
Did you know that the lovely lady who is now our governor was previously a judge?
Yes.
Lulian Guerrero was a judge, and she was very impressed, I remember, with the team. She said, we might actually fund you guys.
Yes.
We can bankroll your company.
Yes.
That's high praise from her, and she knows her stuff. Okay, so Erica, being a team member and being the winning team requires a lot of different disciplines and a lot of different skills to have and everything. You have to be good financially, you have to be very, very creative, you have to present extremely well. So what type of person typically comes into Startup Weekend Guam? Do you necessarily have to be a business major?
Oh, definitely.
And a young person?
Well, definitely not. It's open to everybody. In the past, or looking at the Google Techstars Startup Weekend that's been hosted previously, a lot of the participants come from 50% technical background, as Aubrey was mentioning, design, engineering, marketing, and then also the business aspect too. And really just anybody who has or wants to be a part of this scene of entrepreneurship and just to get the hands-on activity of what it takes to start up a business.
Okay, now I like the fact that Aubrey mentioned 54 hours. It sounds like a long time, but Ione, when you're basically under pressure, because that's a real hard deadline.
Definitely.
And it only gets harder and harder the closer you get to the finish line.
Yeah, so we want to inspire people not just to stay within the walls of the venue that we're having it at the different islands. And so, like you mentioned, a lot of pressure to build a business plan. We understand that it's not a reality to actually build a business in 3 days or 54 hours but we also encourage the opportunity to be very creative, think out of the box. Aubrey mentioned innovation. That's something that we're shooting for. So that's what it's going to take. So we'll support the entire attendee participation.
Okay, so for people watching this right now, they're thinking, that's a great way to spend a weekend. I like a good thought experiment. I like a challenge. And what do they have to bring to the table as far as like when they register, they have to bring their own laptop. Can they bring all of their tech gear, like all their own software, or is that all provided?
We won't be able to provide the laptops. We do encourage everyone to bring anything that can help support their business idea. So anything from laptops. We are trying to also encourage sustainability. So we were also wanting to have our participants bring their own water bottles, bring
Very
their
nice.
own utensils. So really encouraging sustainability. And then also we encourage everyone to bring your business cards. This is a chance to network. So we hope that we can build connections throughout this weekend.
Okay, well, Erica, I feel as if I know what the answer is going to be. I'm hoping I know what the answer is. But one of the things I've liked about Startup Week in Guam is because, like Aubrey was saying, you bring your own water bottle, but there's a lot of food that's provided. Even though it's a challenge physically and mentally and creatively, you guys provide a lot of the fuel. The food is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that keeps you going.
Yes, well, we need to feed the participants. Well, and I'm glad that you brought that up because right now we are looking for community partnerships. And so this is it takes a village pretty much. And we are reaching out to different business organizations who can help support this movement, this initiative to bring Google Techstars Startup Weekend to not just Guam, but to the rest of the 6 islands in the Micronesia. So it will be interesting to see how the different islands come together to help facilitate this event.
I know there have been acai bowls in the past. It got really, really healthy one year. There were vegan options, but you know, you can never go wrong with like a couple cups of coffee and a nice slice of pizza.
It's true.
You can put together a nice financial plan if you have that. You know, you'd be surprised.
You had me at coffee.
Exactly. And you had many people out there at coffee. Okay, so we could just jump around for this one. We don't have to go in any particular order. But what of our friends throughout Micronesia, what kind of feedback have they given you about, they've heard about Startup Weekend in Guam, they've watched the live streams, they'd be like, man, I would love to have that like closer to me and everything. Can we please make it happen?
So in partnership with the SBDC, or the Small Business Development Centers, that's who we're partnering with to bring the Startup Weekend initiative to the outer islands. We have received very positive feedback. They're very excited to be a part of something new and something different and something bigger. A lot of the feedback is we might have to consider the cultural barriers or constraints for the outer islands, like in FSM specifically, because they have chiefs, they have tribes, and we have to consider that as well. And so bringing back to the question that you asked Aubrey about bringing laptops and how are we going to provide those tools and resources for them to actually build a business plan. So one, we're not limiting participation to just students or business people. We're actually opening it up to people from walks of all life. And then two, if they don't have a laptop, then we're basically going to use those big Post-it papers that they can use and maybe do a storyboard of something that they want to bring to life, not just their ideas, but maybe something that has been in the back of their minds. They wanted to move on it, so that's something that we want to do. And then lastly, when you mentioned to Erica, food is, we're looking for sponsors specifically, not for all of the islands. And we understand that there might not be catering options in the outer islands. So if anyone has ideas to bring some of the food that we have here on Guam to those islands as well, then we're open to discussing that as well.
Okay, ladies, we got to go. But where can people go for more information?
So you can email us at sweekendmicronesia@gmail.com or visit us on social media at SW Micronesia on Instagram, and Facebook is the Startup Weekend Micronesia.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Can't wait to see what comes out of it.
We're excited.
Okay, remember everybody, you can have all the tech in the world. You can have so much different technology products and gear. You can have everything that Apple makes. Some of the best business plans actually started out on the back of a napkin. That's the truth. And we're back after this.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals